What's up, gamers? This is That PlayStation Gamer. Today we're talking about the God of War Laufey situation and just why at the end of the day, some of these people you should not listen to. In fact, I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't think you should listen to any of them. So, if you guys don't recall, kind of be shocking because, well, this was kind of taking over the internet for a second, and it was just at the recent State of Play. But God of War Laufey is a brand new God of War game that actually, correction here from what I said before, it's actually not a spin-off title per se. So it does take place actually within the same time frame as God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, which obviously is pretty freaking interesting because we have now the story of Faye, aka Kratos' second wife, playing alongside God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. So, and it also takes place in a realm where gods actually go where they die. So this has led into a lot of conspiracy theories. People saying maybe Zeus will pop up because he did pop up in God of War 2018 as a flashback. Could potentially see Odin or Thor or any other characters that have previously died. Hell, maybe the whole Greek pantheon will show up. That'd be kind of crazy. But of course, this game doesn't star Kratos. This stars, as I said before, Faye, his wife. His wife who was a giant, for the record. So a lot of people are curious, like, why was she allowed to go to the realm of the gods? My theory is the ritual she performed actually allowed her to go to the realm of the gods, because maybe she wanted to be with Kratos after death. That's at least my conspiracy theory. But obviously, things aren't going right. The God of War from Egypt and the God of War from, I believe it was supposed to be either Mongolian or Chinese mythology are kind of like taking over. So again, it just leads into interesting theories like of what's going to happen with this game. So the problem really, the controversy of this game comes from the fact that it comes from two camps really. One, it comes from God of War fans who are not happy this is a God of War game in name without Kratos. Now, that's not necessarily true. We did see in the bits of gameplay they showed that Kratos is in the game, but kind of like as like a, I guess you'd say kind of like a spirit or a messenger kind of thing. But like overall, like he's not going to be in the game as the character you play as. Now, I can understand that camp a little because we are used to God of War games where Kratos is the main character. So thus, you know, when we hear God of War, we think Kratos. Just natural, right? Now, I'm going to say this right now. I've made a video previously talking about this. I've said that the God of War franchise needs to go beyond Kratos. It needs to go into different characters. Maybe Thor at some point. Maybe Atreus, Faye, like I threw out the idea because that was the rumor at the time. Maybe we could get a remake trilogy, which we actually are getting. So it's like, I kind of get where this camp's coming from. Because the God of War franchise has been so closely attached to Kratos. But I've always said that, you know, a great franchise isn't about a singular character. It's about characters. It's about the cast, not the singular person. So I get where they're coming from, but I'm not in that camp. I personally think it would be nice and refreshing to play as a different character that isn't Kratos for once. And to me, that's a net positive. Because the more characters you get invested into, the more the franchise becomes something everyone can enjoy. And if you don't like Kratos, like I didn't like Kratos in God of War 1, 2, and 3. I didn't like him. But in God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, they changed him. And the change I like. So the more characters we get to see, the better. But of course, the second camp. The second camp is what I like to call the Incel camp. These people are upset that you are playing as a woman in a video game that potentially is released in 2028. I don't get this camp at all. Like, how many video games have we played as a girl and it's never been a deal breaker? How many RPGs have character creators that we play as women? How many of these games have female leads that are fully voice acted by women too, and are fantastic? And every time a game with a woman shows up, they have to sit there and talk about how this is a DEI. This video game shouldn't be about women. It should be about masculine men. For the record, just gonna say this right now. The way some of these guys talked about Kratos, low-key think they might be a little gay. Yeah, not got a problem with that. You know, if you're interested in Kratos like that, great, cool. But I have to sit here kind of wonder, like, is this a preference or is this a desire kind of thing? Now, listen, like I said in the previous, while I was talking about the God of War community, not being wanted it to be about Kratos, I get that. But it's like, I'm sorry, if playing as a woman in 2028 is seriously a deal breaker for you, I don't think you really are about modern video games. I don't think you actually care about gaming as an art form. I think you just care about gaming as the way you've always thought about it, stupid kids entertainment. And it's like, I get it, like, people feel like the Faye might take over the fucking franchise, but Faye's dead. And far as we know, until like the game comes out, she's going to remain dead. She won't interact with Kratos or Atreus in any meaningful way unless there's like some kind of weird bullshit Deus Ex Machina kind of thing. But again, I don't know what this game holds. And I think it's so crazy that the developers themselves have to come out and say, there are still games with Kratos being developed. We have plans for Kratos. It's just this isn't one of them. So I don't get it, man. I don't get how in 2020, potentially, you can sit there and dismiss an entire game, dismiss the gameplay, dismiss the graphics, dismiss the music, dismiss everything about the game just because there's a woman. And I've said before, and I'll say it as long as I breathe, I think this is a grift. I think these people say this stuff because they know it. There's people out there that are stupid and naive and Neanderthal level enough to actually believe this shit. If you actually believe they're trying to replace Kratos with his dead wife, then I got a fucking bridge to sell you, going to an island in a fucking continent you never heard of. Because, you'll believe anything someone says, right? But until next time, guys, this is That PlayStation Gamer signing out. Let me know what you think of these God of War controversies and put it in the comment section below. So, until next time, peace out. Have a good day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube algorithm BS. Bye.